Right, here we are, folks. Money Rider lads back together again. Once again, obviously, time permitting, we can't really get around the table. The jump season kicked off, lads, this week. Obviously, some brilliant races so far. But before we get to all that, we kind of got to address the end of the flat season, lads. So, obviously, the weekend, you got Ascot. These two are very excited. Obviously, at Ascot, the champions meet. Jamie, you're going to be there doing your race making again.
Yeah, doing that again on my 6th year, I think. So yeah, looking forward to it and going to see Baaeed and welcome all the race goers at Ascot. I'm looking forward to it.
So you'll be our roving reporter for the day.
Well, try my best.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. I fancy some of the ones on telly a bit more, mate. But you'll do. Okay, all right. Well, as you just sort of said there, obviously. You got a Champions Day meet, sort of starting to round off the end of the season. As you said, Jamie, there's a few other meets, but one of the last bigger meetings of the season on the flat as the jumps kicks into full gear. So what we do is, lads, we'll just run through the cards. As Mark, you said before, so we started filming, and there's not a million races on the day. So we'll just go through the cards and then, basically just chime in what you got to say then, lads, really. So starting 125, then you've got the long distance cup, 2 mile, 1 mile 7 sort of distance. Again, you've got some big names, Sean, as you mentioned. You've got Trushan in there. You've got ELDAR, Waterville, Coltrain, who beat Trushan not long ago. Quickthorn, Trawlerman, Wordsworth, and then Willie Mullins looking to try and steal another one, Sean, with Stratham. Oh, Stratham, how do you pronounce it? Yeah. So, well, anyway, Sean, let's let the flat experts have a go. You two lads can start us off then. I don't mind which. So, go on then. Someone give us a starting point. Then where do we see this one going?
Go on, Jamie. I'll leave it to you. She'll be there on the day, son.
Rightio. Okay, then. So the long distance cup, Group 2, 1 mile, 7 furlongs, and 209 important yards. I've gone for looking for a nice, good field, and it's an excellent field indeed. And I like, as a value bet and a value selection, I'm looking to see Trawlerman, trained by John and Fady Gosden, and will be ridden by Frankie Dettori.
Yeah, nice price at the minute, 20.
Yeah. Up 16 to 1 each, 16 to 1 at the moment. I did see looking at the race card. Up in trip, should suit. He won the 6 mile, 1 mile 6 furlongs at Goodwood, but won very well in the Ebor with a great ride by Frankie Dettori. That was a really good ride indeed. And the ground could be a sort of a concern for me, but he's got a very good each way chance. Trushan, I think Trushan is a little bit too short for me for a betting point of view. The ground will suit. Obviously, he's won the actual race before on Champions Day. He's finished second in the Doncaster Cup. He was behind Coltrain, and he's my danger for the race. But I think for me, Trawlerman. But for Coltrain, for the main danger, won the Doncaster Cup. David Probert, he's done very well this season, winning quite a few big rides, winning a few flats. I think he's in the top 10 in the championship table. But for me, Trawlerman for an each way price with Frankie Dettori and John and Fady Gosden.
Okay, fair enough, Mark.
Yeah, well, just as you said, Jamie, smashing fields, Trushan heading the field, but I like Coltrain for Andrew Balding. He comes seconds to, I believe it was Quickthorn at York, and then at Goodwood he finished 4th at behind what you would probably say the best stayer at the moment in Kyprios. But what was a good performance for him is when he beat Trushan on good soft ground, which is what it looked like it's going to be heading towards that come Saturday. You've got some other top quality horses in there, as you say, Waterville and ELDAROV is another one.
I noticed Trushan and Eldar are flipping a little bit in the betting, depending on what odds you look at the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, Coltrane's just drifted slightly. I mean, he was about 7-1 a few days ago, and now he's drifting out to double figures at about 10-1 at the moment. I believe Jamie's selection 20-1. I'm seeing in the betting market.
Yeah, I see a few 21. I see Betfred had TRAWLERMAN at 16s.
I mean, Trushan's 2-1 favourite at the moment. I wouldn't be at all surprised if he gets pulled out. He normally does. You know, it always happens. Lastminute.com with him. But you know, going by the last couple of performances on the good soft grounds, Coltrain would be my selection at 10-1.
Yeah, yeah. I was sort of drawn a little bit to Coltrain, to be honest. Obviously got a recent win over Trushan as well.
Yeah.
As you say, I was having a quick look at ELDAROV. Does it look to me like he might be only slightly, but a slight, you know, increase in trip maybe?
Yeah, stepping up in trip. Yeah,
you know, not a great distance step up, but you know, it looks like they're trying it anyway. You know.
Yeah, and obviously with the soft conditions and that, because I reckon Ascot's going to get quite a bit of deluge, a little bit of rain tomorrow. Obviously for Friday, Saturday forecast is going to be quite dry and breezy, but it's still going to be sort of in around about the soft conditions, I would say. And apparently the reports on Ascot that the ground looks really perfect. The grass is good lashing of grass and everything. So I reckon it will be like I would say good to soft or soft. They were talking about, there was a bit concerned with the around the bottom end of Ascot, a little bit too soft, but other than that, they're
well, it's still been relatively mild, isn't it? You know, we've had the odd day around here, haven't we? That's been a bit ropey, but by and large, we were only saying at work, it's still been a bit mild. So
yeah.
Sean, have you got anything you'd like to sort of point out or add? Or
to be honest, I'm going to go against all. And I've bumped for the St Ledger winner. To be honest with you, ELDAROV. Like you say, there is a slight step up for the horse, but watching the St Ledger seemed to actually find a little bit more in the latter stages. I know only won by half a length, but seemed to be going a little bit, well, a lot better than most in the final stages. So I think the step up will actually help the ground. If it stays good to soft, as Jamie was saying, I don't think will be a problem for the horse. So yeah, I think Egan's got a good chance in the first.
Yeah, I think if I remember rightly, going back a little while now, I think had an entry for the Royal meeting. I think was withdrawn, I believe, or I picked it in one and it went in another, if you know what I mean. So yeah, certainly, like I say, not a bad off by any means. So
no, not at all.
As the Mullins expert, any chance? Nah,
not really. I mean, if he has at 66-1, it's a fantastic price. We know it's a staying type, but such a journeyman of a horse that has been in so many of these stays, you kind of feel that there will come a point that possibly after this, maybe it will be the last shout. But I'd love to. I'd love him.
It would be an awesome swan, wouldn't it? You know, if it could be, but as you say, looking at the, you know, let's say certainly the top 4 or 5, you know what I mean, or even all of them really. Is a big
the class is different.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let's move on to the 2 o'clock then. That will be the sprint stakes. Creative Force, you know, in the blues, obviously. Rohan, King Ross, sorry. Art Power, Naval Crown, Perfect Power. Brad the Brief, go on here. I see NPR got a runner there, Jamie, Ventura Diamond.
Yeah, Ventura Diamond. I think if it
you
was
like a sprint, Jamie, so what do you?
Well, I do like my big runners. I normally do like to go for 2, which I've done. Looking at the field, I haven't gone with Ventura Diamond because she's done well last year, finished 7th, but she needs a hell of a lot of rain to compete in the top 4. But still, she's well. I think she's done well getting into that race, and she's got plenty of black type. So I'm looking for that, but I'm not really going to be selecting for her. But the one of the 2 I've looked at, the one is Brad the Brief, trained by Hugo Palmer, ridden by David Egan. He's a 14-1 that I looked at. He was 6 furlongs. He's up his street. And in the ease conditions will help because he's won on good, he's won on heavy, he's won on soft or in few places. And I've backed him when he ran at
one on soft and one on good stroke yielding.
Good, yeah. And I've backed him when he was running at the Curragh, and he did that very well, winning with the champion jockey William Buick. And he kept on well to the end of the line and beat Monty Easter by half a length.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
and he gave obviously he gave him like a good running for sure. So I reckon that Brad the Brief with the ease conditions will help him on the straight 6 furlong course. And the other one is a good old Lords of the Rings. It's Rohan, trained by David Evans and ridden by Adam Kirby. Obviously a 4-year-old. He's done quite well in the sprints division. The ease conditions would help him because he has got a little bit of ease. He's had ran on heavy before and run on soft. But he's won well on last time out at Ascot where he beat Summerhand, and he's no mug. And he beat him by 1.5 lengths at Ascot in a very good field, even though it was about a 14-runner field. But that was still a good field. So
seems
the two
to pop up, doesn't he, in a big race?
Yeah,
you know
he does.
Like,
yeah.
You know, and sort of performs in a big race, and then maybe not so well, like the next month or whatever, or next week or something.
All these sprinters normally they always meet each other through the season, and obviously this is the big one where everybody come together. And I reckon there's going to be a sort of a surprise or not. But I reckon for me, I would like to see Brad the Brief because Hugo Palmer's done very well this season on the flat. And the other selection, looking at the field, is Rohan.
Yeah, well, so I say David Egan was on board before the last win against Glenn Shields. So jockey knows the horse, obviously.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So they've had a win.
And that's another jockey's done very well. David Egan, he's done very well this season.
Sean, anything that you sort of stood out to you, or
I
might have a dabble on today, or?
Yeah, to be honest, I looked, like Jamie was saying, for a bit of a price value on it. I've gone for O'Brien and Moore. Is it TENEBRISM?
Yeah, TENEBRISM, I guess I'd pronounce that, yeah.
Is pronunciation. Now, look, again, form doesn't stack up nicely for it. I mean, it's a very hit and miss type of horse. But again, it was always touted as a horse that had plenty of sprint potential. Obviously has only shown that in fits and starts, but yeah, to be honest with you, 12-1 with Ryan Moore on board, let's be honest with you, that's a fantastic shout for a horse that actually has got plenty of capabilities. It's just whether it shows up on the day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I mean, the top end of the betting speaks for itself, but you find with these sprint,
you kind of expect it to come from there, but this is racing, so.
Well, exactly, and if they break out quick enough, and you've got someone like Ryan Moore on board on top of a horse that has got capabilities to stick it out the sprint, then there's not much catching others, is there? So I'm not saying it's going to be its crowning day, but I just think it's got a fantastic chance.
Mark?
Yeah, as I think Jamie stipulated a few, it's another strong field. Looking through some of the runners, you've got Creative Forces, the current 4-1 favourite at the minute. He hasn't done much for me to be warranted 4-1 favourite. I was impressed with Kim Ross at Longchamp, but I just think running on very soft conditions, going from to the conditions on Saturday, I think
I'm just having a look at Kim Ross, mate. I was just having a quick glance at the the course form, but that's a bit alarming. As ran in October, it was 9-20. Ran on in June at 8-24. Do you know what I mean? It just puts me off a little bit. I mean, that's my eye was drawn a bit to.
Yeah, I was very impressed with the performance, but I think as Jamie said about the one that heads, me at the minute is Rohan. He ran a very good race 2 weeks ago over course and distance, similar conditions. Won the race comfortably in the end. We're still quite happy about a furlong out. I feel if he managed to get the break a little bit earlier, I think he could have won that race by quite a big distance as well. Just so comfortable under Adam Kirby. You know, but again, it's one of those races. There's some top runners in there, like TENEBRISM, as Sean stipulated. You know what the O'Brien and Moore camp are like. You know, they always turn up for the big races, but you know, going by last performance, Rohan just heads it for me at 9-2 for this one.
I think
all right. Well, I'm gonna.
Sorry, Glenn. With King Ross, I was thinking of going with him, but when I looked at his form, he's a proper 7 furlong horse. He did run 6 furlongs, and I don't think the distance quite helped him. But he was very impressive at Longshot. Was the only Group 1 7 furlong race, which is absolutely ridiculous. There should be a few more because it's a specialised distance. But I didn't really wanted to select King Ross because it was just like, I think 7 furlongs is the actual distance for him.
Yeah, talking about, like I say, maybe not the distance, well, maybe not even course as well. I mean, I was drawn more out of heart more than anything for Go Bears Go, given my allegiance to the ice hockey teams and baseball teams in Chicago. But you know, I mean, Go Bears Go has won at Ascot, and that was in 2021, but that was over 5 furlongs, not 6. And then obviously, you know, you're then thinking, like I say, Jamie, is it the right trip? You know what I mean? It has won at 6, but the last time it did try 6 at Ascot, you know, it did win 1 in April, but then was, you know, 10 or 20 after that. So, yeah. but at you know, at a price of, well, you know, looking here 25 to 1. Do you know what I mean? I might be tempted to have a little bit of an each way on that, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Failing that, yeah, so I might drift back to King Ross, but as I say, the course form alarms me a little bit about that. But you know, like I say, this is racing, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it's just not the right day, you know.
Especially in October.
Yeah. Okay, well, if nobody's got anything else to add, then we'll breeze on to the next one. That'd be the 240 then, lads. The Fillies and Mares Stakes, 1 mile 4. Again, Sean, as you say, some big names out on the day. Field headed by Emily Upjohn at the minute. Sheila Rosa in there as well. Eternal Pearl. Yeah, going down the card, you know, you've got some bigger prices. Emily Dickinson in there at, you know, 20s. Anything that you sort of preferred in this, Sean?
I'm going to be honest, it's not, from a betting point of view, I've not really laid my hat anywhere at the moment, if I'm honest. Again, that's quite a field where the winner could possibly come from anywhere. But from a personal point of view, I would like Emily Upjohn to finish the season on a high. We spoke about this horse as a team earlier in the year, when we were going through the horses that could have been anything. And we were touting this as being one of those. And the wheels just seem to fall off.
Sort of, fall off.
And it just feels very unjust that she didn't have. I mean, still enough wins by her name to see her at this point. We get that. But you know, when you just think that won't be spoke about as in the upper echelons as some of the others we've seen this year. So from a betting point of view, not really pinpointed anything that takes my fancy at the moment, but from a point of view of the horse I'd like to see come out on top
as a fan,
as a fan of the sport and as a fan of what it's about, I'd like to see this horse just get the last laugh at the end of the season. So
it would be nice, given, like I say, so much promise was spoken about.
Of course.
It show it, don't get me wrong, it has shown it, but like I say, when everybody really expected a big performance, it didn't quite come.
Yeah, I don't think the chips have fallen where they'd like them to. So I just, from a personal point of view, I'm going to go with Emily Upjohn, but from a point of view of as a fan, looking at it, I'd like to see the horse finish on a high.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Mark?
Yeah, I've gone for a bit of a Brownlow special. I've gone for a double-figured odds one on here. I've gone for Lilac Road.
Hang on. Just let me write that down.
I've got Lilac Road. William Haggis going to be ridden by Kieran Fallon. I've been very impressed with the last 3 runs that he's had. You know, he come third at Goodwood. You know, all last 3 races have been in similar conditions. Finishing Nashwa, who won that race. Then at York, when it was won by the ARC winner, Alpinista. second, and then when it finished second at Longchamp, I thought it was a very good, convincing race. You know, again, it's another one. You know, there's some good ones in there. I totally agree with Sean. You know, Emily Upjohn, you know, a few races back was the up and coming one that we was looking at, and a little setback, as we know. And I think, totally am with Sean. I'd love to see this horse finish on a high. You know, Sheila Rosa, Eternal Pearl, who's won the last four races, excuse me. Lilac Rose, just going by its last 3 performances. I'd have a little each race shout on that. And even Emily Dickinson as well, you know, 22 to 1. You know, we know what that horse is capable of as well. So anything can happen on the day. So yeah, just edging it for me for just a little each race shout, Lilac Road at 18s.
Yeah, okay, mate, fair enough. Jamie?
Yeah, I've gone for a ooh la la French horse, Sweet Lady. I'm not going to say the pronunciation of the French trainer, because all I've written down is trained by a French trainer. So, but I'm going to go for this for the jockey, the rider is Gregory Benoit. French lady, 8 to 1 at the moment. Sometimes you do see a French winner at the Champions Day, and I think that Sweet Lady might be the one. He's got 2. The trainer's got 2. He's got Very Elegant in it.
Bigger price,
But I've gone for Sweet Lady because she's got very good form on these conditions. She's got like soft, good to soft and yielding, and also she won very well at Paris Longchamp in a very competitive Group 1 race that I watched, and that was like a neck and a short head. It was so competitive. She did that very well. That was at 34 days ago. So I'm hoping that she'll freshen herself up and go on well for this race. But I think that I think Sweet Lady will be in the places, hopefully. With Emily Upjohn, it was really unfortunate when I was there at Epsom. That was so gutting for the horse, because finishing second by a nose, you know, at the Oaks. If she would have won that, I think that would have been a total different story for Emily Upjohn.
I think it was a bit of a pinnacle moment in the season.
And I know everybody was having a go at Frankie, or the horse missed the break or anything, but I think hopefully we might see her next season, Emily Upjohn, and try and get back some of the wins that she's lost, and try and get it back.
I don't think anyone that would consider a fan should be disheartened.
No, not at all.
As Sean said, you know, it was just like you say, things just didn't quite plan out the way they'd hoped. And as you say, and we've said on many occasions with racing, you know, you could run the race another 5 times and the same outcome might not be the same. So, and that start could be different every time. So, definitely lots to be positive about. You know,
I think is there INSPIRAL in that race? Is it INSPIRAL?
No, in the next race.
Is that the next race? Okay, so to me that'll be good. But my selection is Sweet Lady in the Champions and Fillies and Mares race.
Okay, all right. Well, as I say, as we said before in the last video, things have been a bit busy at the minute. But I mean, I just looking through the card as we chat now. You know, I mean, I've got to be honest, I quite like Sheila Rosa. Always been a bit of a fan of them silks. I tend to find myself back in Tom's rides as well. I do notice that it would appear, first run at actually at the course. So obviously, as you always say, Sean, you never quite know until the horse has run there. You know, I mean, they might seem to run very well, but there might just be something about that course they don't like and they don't perform. But obviously, you know, good enough recent form. You know, one couple of times at the distance in good form going into the race, so you always hope for that as well anyway.
Of course,
you know, so that would be my selection, but as I say, my concern I suppose would be
course form.
Course form
or lack of
distance obviously, but not course form. But And again, to see a few places have got 7 to 1. You know, I mean, that wouldn't be a bad price just to have a bit of a punt on. You know.
Yeah.
You take 7 times your money, you'd be happy. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So yeah, I'd have a little stab at that sort of loyalty, I suppose, as well. You know, and sort of love for the colours, really. Do you know what I mean? Okay, all right. Well, let's move on then to the 320. The 320, you've got the Queen Elizabeth second stakes, another 1 mile race, or a 1 mile race, should I say? Inspiral in that one. Modern Games, Revenant, Bayside Boy. Yeah, again, not the biggest of fields, but still some that may want to get a mention. Anything that you prefer in this, Mark?
It's just Inspiral for me. I mean, she did so impressive in the Coronation Stakes at Ascot. You know, she had that that defeat to Prosperous Voyage. Did I pronounce that correctly, at Newmarket? You know, which was just a blip, in my opinion. You know, and then went on to soft in Duval. So Inspiral, I'm surprised it's not odds on. You know, 11-10 is a price that I'll probably go and stick my house on. I won't tell my wife that. It's just one that I look at and I think, you know, it's special horse. I mean, we talk about Baaeed, but you know, it's a horse that I've really got a soft spot for. And you know, I don't take no disrespect from any of the other runners. You know, Modern Games is in there.
Yeah.
You know, the Revenant. But I just can't see anything in there that I think will really cause too much trouble. So it's Inspiral all the way for me.
Yeah, I don't think you'll get any of us really disagree with you on that one. They have got some very good horses. That owners, haven't they, right now?
Yeah.
They've got some decent horses. You know, most of us give the right arm to own horses, like some of the ones they've got. So, well, does anybody really want to elaborate, or shall we move on? Or
I've got one that will gonna give Inspiral a bit of a run.
We've got a bonus. Ding 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 ding. Jamie bonus.
So it's trained by the Christopher team, and that's been I think that's been supplemented, and that's Jadomi. It's been. I think he's got very good ground conditions, course form for this. He's won very well at Leopardstown in the Boomerang mile group 2, winning by 4 lengths. It'll be, and I think that was be a good enough for an each way selection for me. But this Jadot will give Inspiral a run for her money. I do like Inspiral.
You got a decent enough jockey in James Doyle booked, didn't you?
Yeah. So. But so let's see the old match will see what happens in the race. And
it'd be interesting. Yeah. Okay, all right. 4 o'clock then is the Champion Stakes. Baaeed next, move on. Obviously, you know, you've got to be respectful, as you say, Mark. You've got Adayar there, Bay Bridge, my Prospero, Royal Champion, Dubai Honour, Stone Age, Max Sweeney, and Helvic Dream, which obviously all have to have a mention. But I don't know, wouldn't we rather have seen Baaeed in the Arc, though, really?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that's the one thing that I'm mostly disappointed about. They diverted this horse. To me, here we go. I'm going to come out and say it, and I'll probably get criticism for it now. To me, go down the easy route. You know, but you're taking on a horse who won the Derby and the King George in the same year. You know, very impressive at Doncaster back in September. And I think this is the one race where I think Baaeed will be given his biggest test. Will Baaeed come out on top? Yeah, I think so. I think he'll just that finishes unbeaten. You know, I don't want to hear anything about comparisons to Frank or other horses, because you know, Baaeed is just the best horse of his generation.
Generation,
100%. And you know, I just think, you know, if the Adayar turns up that we know, you know, then he will give Baaeed a good race. But I just think Baaeed will be too strong.
Well, I don't see you can look past Baaeed, really, unless, like you say, unless it's one of them days it doesn't happen. But he don't seem to have them. Baaeed for me. Sean, do you like sort of chime in?
No, I agree. Well, I agree and disagree. I don't think it's the easy route out. I think watch the arc back, and I think it was won very well by Alpinista, but it did fall apart as well. It was won by the first three that came home with Stormy, the rest seemed to be paddling a little bit. So, you know, would he have benefited from going to that? No. Is there any point in ruining an unblemished record? No. I think from an owner's point of view, I think it's quite a smart thing to do. We turn around and say that he'll win easily. Yes, probably the horse will. We know it's an absolute beast of a horse. But to say that in a race, where you've got the likes of Adayar and Baaeed is testament to the horse.
Yeah.
Because any other race that you put those horses in, they go off evens favourite 2-1, 3-1, not 10-1 and 9-2 and 5-1. You know, so I know what Mark's saying, and I know what a lot of people are saying. But if you own that horse, would you not want it to have gone the whole way unblemished? I would have. Would I want it to have finished on home serve?
I don't win anything because I just like to gamble.
Yeah, well, there's that as well. But like, I know from a price point of view, it's pointless talking about 1 to 4 is what it is, or whatever the odds are. But from an owner's point of view, I'd have done the exact same thing. Let it be crowned where it's won most of his races at home. It's where it deserves to be. But there's nothing more needs to be said. Hopefully he brings it home. To be fair, it'd be nice.
And for Jamie to be there as well to witness it live. It's a phenomenal. You know, Jamie, I'm not jealous. Not at all.
So I'll put the videos up later on the Twitter account on Saturday.
Do you want to give us your 10 pence, Jamie?
I'm going to put my 10 pence on Baaeed. No, I think Baaeed. I'm going to ruin what Mark just said. 10 years ago, you saw Frankel win the Champion Stakes, and you go in 10 years forward, and you see another superstar. And to me, I think that William Haggis has played it so well. I think he's done the right thing. I've watched at the races they've done a feature with William Haggis, and he was talking to the Shadwell owners and saying that we want to go this and this. We want to go to the Arc, but I really don't want to go to the Arc. If the Arc is absolutely chucking it down, which it was, I want to go. We would, and then the owner went, right, okay, then we'll go to the Champions Day, and then that's it. They've actually gone through a plan from A, B, C, and D. They've put up. They went to the Juddmonte to see if he can extend his distance, which he did. Same as with Frankel, and now. You see another superstar in the actual breeding terms, because you've got Frankel, who's been absolutely astronomical in the breeding circuit, and look at all his prices now for his yearlings. And I think it's going to be the same thing with Baaeed. Baaeed is going to be a very good sire when he retires. It's a full circle. It's from 10 years ago when the Champion Stakes started at Ascot, where Frankel won that, and that was, retired. Sir Henry Cecil, keeping him alive, keeping him insane, keeping him in prestige of Frankel. It's the same with Baaeed. Baaeed will win that race. He will help William Haggis win his trainers. Championship at the end of at the beginning of November, and I think that I think you will see another star 10 years down the line in Champion Stakes, where you see another superstar. So that's my thing with it. So
that makes complete sense. So I think it would seem as though we have lost Glyn. Now I know he's just messaged everyone that his computer's crashed. He's either that, or he was really good at bringing back the mannequin challenge. But it looks like his computer's crashed. So,
or also it could be that I was boring in him, and the computer. I literally was boring the actual paints off of him. And
do you know what? If that's not epitomising the fact that he prefers jumps over flats, I don't know what is. We come to the last prestige meet, and he's just given up. He's given up the ghost. But anyway, look, in his absence, we will move on. We've only got one more to do.
Yeah.
The 430, the 440, sorry, Balmoral handicap, big field as always is with these sort of races. Mark, have you got a fancy in this one, mate?
Yeah, this is, you know, like this is a big one. You know, lots of big runners, big odds horses here. You know, in this one. But I look back a couple of weeks back at the Peroni Nastro Azzurra Challenge Cup, which was won by Escobar.
Hey.
I'm actually going with the horse that comes second in that race, in Mum's Tipple. I thought she had a great run, especially in the last three, hitting the post, coming second the last 3 times. Sean Levy had a great season, so as Richard Hannon, and had every chance in that race, but just, you know, I think Escobar just come through, just had that little bit more.
Yeah.
Look, we can talk about some of the other horses in this race.
Oh yeah, we could be here for days.
Then we've got, I think, Protagonist. Well, I think it's another one that comes second most recently. Jamie's probably got a whole load of Brucey bonuses for this one because he loves these kind of races, these big handicaps, and this is what we all love about it. But going by the odds, getting about 22 to 1 at the moment. I'll just have an each way shout on Mum's Tipple.
No, that's fair enough. That's top stuff. Well, seeing as though Jamie's probably going to have a hat for and we're running out of time anyway, what I will do is I'll go with mine. I've gone with Haggis again, Bashkarova, in Cheveley Park again. One that I have followed quite a bit this season. And again, like you were saying, it's another horse that seems to have hit the post many a times. Got caught in traffic in a few races, stays on very strong in these large fields as well. Again, obviously he's finding the room. Tom Marquardt on board again, decent enough jockey to assume that he'll get a run out of him. Again, with these large fields, it's all about placement, isn't it? And if they can get that room, I believe if this horse can get the room and the placement's fine, especially turning for home, I think he's got a great shout. I think at 12 to 1 in places, or 8 to 12 to 1s if you shop about. Sorry. So for me, Bashkarova. Go on then, Jamie. Finish us off, so to speak.
Rightio, I'm gonna be very quick. I'm gonna do 3. There's 3 horses that I like in the field. The first one is Orban, trained by David O'Meara, ridden by Neil Callan. He's in drawn 14 in the stalls. He's at 14 to 1. He likes the ease of the ground. He likes soft and good conditions, soft or good and soft. He's won at Goodwood when he raced against Rivich, and also Blue for You, where Blue for You finished second, Rivich finished third. Also, Orban has raced and won at Ascot last time out. I've gone through the same with you, Sean Bashkarova, trained by William Haggis, and ridden by Tom Marquardt. He likes ease. He likes good to soft because he won at Epsom. That was a very good race. Watched that race. Won that by 1 3/4 lengths. Did that very well. And where he beat another Cheveley Park stud runner at the time. And then the third one I like is Blue for You, which I just mentioned, where Orban raced against him. He finished second at Goodwood. He ran at York in a 7 furlong race, did that very well, won that really well in that race. He's trained by David O'Meara and ridden by Daniel Tudhope, and that's the 3. Orban, Bashkarova and Blue for You.
Right, do you write all them down, Mark? Because I bet he's got some more as well. That's going to be the thing. Anyway, gents, pleasure as always. Jamie, have a great day when you're there. So I'm sure you're going to put up a load, and I'm sure you'll let us all know that you're there having a great time, not rubbing it in whatsoever, but having a good one. Right, well, that's it, lads. The flats from that point of view, from our point of view, I suppose is now done and dusted. It is. It's been a great one. It's been an interesting one as well. I believe we will be filming again early next week because Cheltenham next Friday, where it all begins from there, I suppose, the home of jumps. Again, I know Glenn will put up all his little gadgets of the Patreon and the subscribe and whatever he's got to do. But again, let us all know how your season's been. It's been a great flat season, even for those like myself and Glenn, who aren't the biggest fans. But as now Glenn's gone, it's now done. So we roll on to the jump season, gentlemen. So I'll see you next week for filming.
Bring on
See you
the
later.
jumps.
Bring on the jumps. Speak to you all next week, people.
It's new.
Yes, sir.
There you are.